Check it out. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Mark Trowbridge here, along with Grant Miller from
Check it
Miami's
out.
Community Newspapers. And well, it's awesome to be with you today. Today is Tell a Story Day, and you're listening to, well, the Notorious B.I.G. And I got a story to tell. On behalf of our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, welcome to our weekly show here at the beautiful offices of Grant Miller, Michael Miller, and the entire Community Newspapers team. Grant, we have spent the entire day together today.
Today is unbelievable. I have a story to tell.
Please.
I woke up with Mark. I'm having lunch with Mark. What a day. I have a story to tell.
Play your cards right, and well, we could end the day together.
Do we have a round of applause for that or anything? Oh my
I don't know,
God.
I feel like it should be the, oh,
Okay.
like the cuddling sound.
All right. So today is election day in Coral Gables.
That's right. Today is the runoff race in Group 2 and Group 3. And very excited that somewhere a little past 7 p.m. tonight, we will have two brand new members of the City of Coral Gables Commission, whether that will be Rhonda Anderson or Jose Valdez-Fowley in Group 2, or Javier Banos or Kirk Menendez in Group 3. We already know who the mayor is going to be. As a matter of fact, he was with us this morning at Casa Cuba, and then he called me right after to say thanks for the shout out and to make a member referral to the chamber. So thanks, Mayor-elect Lago, for that.
This is the last week of some special month. What is the last week of?
This is the last week of Earth Month. Earth Day was last Thursday, and it's also Autism Month. And, you know, I think all of us are probably engaged with a member of our family, a member of our community, a member of our extended family, church, school, a person who is on the spectrum or has a child, young person on the spectrum. And so, you know, we talk a lot more openly about developmental disabilities, and there are wonderful programs out there like I was at last week at Crystal Academy. And you know what? The more we talk about opportunities, the more businesses will gain greater comfort in employing folks with developmental disabilities and disabilities in general. So we encourage you to do that, and the work that we do on the city's Disability Awareness Board.
Last week, Peterson Motors down in Cutler Bay had an autism ride, motorcycles,
right.
And Commissioner Regalado was there. She has two special needs children,
That's
or
right.
young adults, and other commissioners were there. Are thousands of bikes supporting autism. But it also, today is National Babe Ruth Day.
That's right. So if you're a fan of the Babe, you know, it's such a great story because there was a long-held belief that when he was, quote, sold to the Yankees, that it left a curse, the curse of the Bambino, on the Boston Red Sox. And boy, they did go a lot of years between World Series titles, but then they've won a couple since then, and pretty darn cool. Do you know why he was sold? His contract was sold to the Yankees?
Why?
So that the owner could finance a musical that he wanted to produce called, I think it was called No No Nanette. Tommy, can we look that up?
Wait. Was that a hit? Let me hear that again.
Sounded like
It's a home
run.
It's a dinger. Is it a? Why do they call it a dinger now? Not a home run.
Sound that it makes?
Maybe. Okay, and it's also Devil Dog Day.
Devil Dog Day, which I'm not as familiar with, but I think it's a little bit of a like a tasty cake that you can buy, a chocolate with vanilla. And it's also Prime Rib Day. I'd rather celebrate that.
Yeah. Speaking about Dave Arbetter and Grant Miller went last week to Sweet Dog on 8th Street.
Very nice.
So
Are you referring to yourself now in third person? Dave and Grant went.
Okay.
I mean, if you're doing a little verb subject agreement, I'm with you, but.
Okay, so no, we're just checking out other hot dog places.
Were you incognito? Were you wearing a disguise?
Yeah, Grant Miller with a baseball cap.
You should wear one of your many hats. You remember the very first show that we ever did together? You did the lightning round, and I did awful with it.
Yes.
Awful.
Okay.
Tommy, did we find out with that Broadway show that he financed? I'm trying to remember who the owner was.
Let's go in a review this week. What happened?
So big week last week. Of course, we had our women's business networking lunch. Lauren Fallick was our keynote speaker, and she talked about having a, quote, seat at the table. And I thought it was really awesome because while it was geared for our women, I think the men that were there had a greater appreciation for the challenges that women deal with, whether it's workplace, issues, equity in pay, opportunities to climb that ladder, being, quote, one of the boys, She addressed all of that, and I think the dialogue around it was very, very strong. And listen, our chamber has been engaged in issues related to women for many, many years, and I think the subject matter is more and more around subjects like Lauren spoke about, but also the authentic way that we need to work collaboratively. March 24th this past year was the day that you would have to work as a woman to make as much as a man from January to December. Almost 3 more months. So we have a pay equity issue. I reached out to the Women's Fund and I said, are you all still working diligently on this? And they said, yes, and thank you for reaching out. And I think one of the best things that we get to do, not only as a chamber, but as a community of business leaders that are very focused on progress and opportunity, is to reach out and look for collaborations, to say, how can we engage around a discussion of pay equity, minimum wage, you name it. Where can the chamber play a role? I was very involved, as you might imagine, even this past week, talking with our partners at the University of Miami about a program they're doing on May the 4th. And they just appreciated the outreach. And I think that's a hallmark of who we are as an organization and what our overarching goals are in terms of being a great partner. So, Tommy, any luck on that, Babe Ruth?
Harry Frazee was the owner.
Yes.
The production was No Nanette.
There it is. No Nanette.
But here's what he got for him. He got 100 in cash, 100,000.
100K in cash for the Babe and his contract.
$5,000 notes paid out over the next 6 years.
All right, so 75 grand.
$1,000 mortgage on Fenway Park.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and what was the owner's name?
Harry Frazee.
Right. Harry Frazee. Well, I think there are a lot of people who held a grudge against him for a lot of years. One, because obviously what Babe Ruth went on to be in terms of a player, but also just a force of nature in the community. I mean, he was as marketable and as much of a brand as anybody else had ever been in baseball up until that time. I think maybe the only other person who had a little bit of a name was old Ty Cobb at Detroit. He was just known for being kind of snarky. So anyway, welcome back.
Well, that was the councilwoman of Doral. She's
Very
picking
nice.
up, we're shipping about 5,000 items to Dominic for kids, and
Right.
she's coordinating it.
Very nice.
So, all right, we talked about the trustee.
We just talked about our women's lodge. We talked about our international business forum, which we did with the University of Florida, Coral Gables. And thank you, Deirdre Nero, for your leadership on that. We had about 50, 60 people join us for a pretty deep dive into doing business in Latin America and looking at what was happening in each of the economies, what's happening there, obviously related to COVID. South America's had a tough time, but listen, all of our thoughts and prayers are with India today, because for the first time since the pandemic began, they are in an incredible crisis. And the U.S. Chamber was actually having a humanitarian call this afternoon to see how, other parts of the country and the world can help. They are in a world of hurt. And so, if you think that we are through everything related to COVID, while things are better in this country, the rest of the world is still having a pretty tough time.
So, to speak about COVID, we had 101 people today. One person out of the 101, 3 people were not vaccinated.
Only 3?
Yeah, one just recovering about 2 months ago on COVID.
Okay, so they're not eligible yet.
And the other 2, she has some medical issue, and the other one just hadn't got time rounds. But point of it is,
Almost everybody.
yeah,
That's 97+%.
but still we had, and it's important for everybody to get their shots.
I agree. And it was interesting to see how many people wore that sticker today as
Proudly,
like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's like,
Was it really meant to be the blue was 1 shot, gold was 2?
no,
I didn't think so, but somebody said that. And I'm
No.
like, no, I think it's just
that's how they printed them.
disclose it.
But it was a good feeling. People in Miami-Dade County, 51% of adults already had shots.
Yeah.
A lot of people already had COVID.
1.2 million already have had, one shot, and I think 400 some thousand had, or no, maybe it's 1.2 million total. 700 some had 2 shots. Almost 500,000 had 1.
Yeah. So
We're a community of nearly 3 million. Now, granted, there's a lot of young people under the age of 16 who haven't been eligible yet, but we need to get folks. She's been a big advocate for getting the shot. Makes me think of that song in Hamilton.
what is it?
I'm not gonna miss my shot, right? Can we get that song?
Tommy will try anything. Okay.
I'm not getting the title right, and I apologize for
All right,
that.
so
I'm not gonna miss my
what's happening?
shot.
Social media engagement. Let's keep growing. Have you have you figured out how you're going to program that when somebody enters, they're going to get that free car wash?
I talked to Justin about that today. He's got another idea, and so he's going to get back to me on that. But we're not going to miss opportunities to not only partner with fellow members, but we've gotten a taste for these contests and growth, and they're really awesome. So our goal is to keep moving the needle on not only our social media, but our coalescence and opportunities that we're having with other great businesses and members and partners.
Today at the breakfast, you had one of your members. I don't know if they're a trustee, Nicholas.
We had our great trustee member, Perry Ann Reed, was there.
Who's from Texas.
And she had just moved here from Texas during COVID by way of North Carolina, where she grew up. CFO of Nicholas Children's, and just a great partner, a longtime trustee of ours, but really working on finding other ways for us to engage together.
All right, what do we got? We have, so let's talk about, what is your number at now of your Instagram?
So we're at about 5,700. For quite a long time, we were hovering between 48, 49, 49.50, and we were struggling to get us, up over the hump. But, working with the Biltmore, doing the contest, and then working previously with Threefold.
And Sushi Maki, the best dessert in town. That Oreo cookie.
And of course, you guys have been great. How many Instagram followers do you have?
Never enough.
But why are we not doing a promotion together? Maybe after Justin does his.
Or
maybe all three of us do it together, do a big triumvirate.
But it's interesting. You're just El Car Wash is a trustee.
Oh, what's that?
They're a trustee, El Car Wash.
Yeah, brand new trustee.
Yeah.
They joined us in March.
Yeah, so your trustee gives a lot of car washes to police officers. I think they're free, most of them.
That's really nice.
Okay, so
my car is incredibly dirty. I'm sorry, Justin. I'm an embarrassment.
Let's talk about new members because it's very exciting. Today is what's the date?
Today's the 27th.
And you have 17.
We have 17. Our goal for the month is 18, so we're one away from
No. Your goal is 20.
Well, I appreciate that. But I've got to give the staff, their kudos, and having Jennifer on the team, and
why don't you talk about Jennifer?
And Erica sold a trustee this month as well.
Who's Jennifer?
Jennifer Rosado has joined us on April 1st.
Can you sing that?
I'm not sure it's a song.
It is a song.
I'm trying to get the Hamilton song, which I know we're going to break some type of copyright rules. And
okay, so let's talk about
Lin-Manuel is going to come after me. He's got a new movie coming out.
Did Morgan come on the screen yet? We had 17 new members, 2 new trustees. There they are. Why don't you read them out for us, baby?
So we have Alhambra Station Cafe, Allegiant Business Consulting, Arelli PR, new trustee, Ascendo Resources, welcome back. Be More Arepas LLC, Canopy Roofing, Diamond Bank Holdings LLC, Canner and Pintaluga, Kaufman Lynn Construction, Miami Center for Architecture and Design, thank you, Cheryl, Portfolio Healthcare LLC, Premier Pediatric Dentistry, Quinn Reed Associates, that's actually Perry Ann's husband, who joined to support our chamber as well.
It's class act.
Quinn Reed Associates, remember that name. And then you've got RMO LLP, Safira Privé, the Pantene Partnership, and U.S. Century Bank, another new great trustee.
Pantene is
Leslie Pantene.
Junior? The third?
Senior. Well, I guess he's junior, yes, because there's Les, who's the third.
Okay, we get them all. These Pantenes, there's so many of them. They cover the county.
But 2 trustees. Our goal is to get 1 more member overall, minimum between now and Friday, and then a couple more trustees. So
yeah, I got you.
Well.
I appreciate you CCing me some of your people that you're throwing the line out to.
I want you to know you also have relationships. I also want them to know that with a trustee membership, quite often there's an opportunity for some additional engagement. You just shot a great video that Aaron is editing right now.
Oh, is he?
Of Eddie Rodriguez, our new trustee from Franchise Consulting Group. And I know you said you had a great conversation with him.
Yeah. He was really interesting. And we learned as much as he was teaching us about franchisees. And and every trustee that joins, we want to help give them the message. Send it out. Send it out to everybody.
We've done everything from showcase a new development like we did on behalf of Urban Resources and the team there to, sitting down with a a new restaurant or new retailer, or to what you did with Eddie this past week. So I appreciate you. You always highlight our members. You know, the cool thing is we're getting ready for our small business summit. And one of the things we're going to do is probably spotlight 10 to 12 small business owners, really probably starting toward the end of the week and moving it forward, leading into that conference and having some testimonials at the conference. So
it's exciting. And I appreciate Morgan's awake. Thank you for waking up for us. We really appreciate it. You're at 5,772.
That's you.
No, that's you.
No, Miami Community
News. Oh, I see. She knows.
We're at 5,632.
It's perfect.
So, you know, we're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You want Instagram, you want Facebook, you want LinkedIn. You got to do a little of everything. And you're on LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn. I will tell you that somebody sent me a text on Thursday kind of scolding me that they had sent me a LinkedIn
request
connection, and I hadn't responded right away. And they said, you know, LinkedIn is where it's at. And I wrote back, then why are you texting me?
Well, LinkedIn, we use LinkedIn a lot.
Yeah? How do you do that?
Well, we send out our message or our stories, our videos. We have 13,000 on LinkedIn. And it's just a different level of business.
And I'll be honest with you, I wish we did a little bit more with that. You know, obviously it's challenging to manage what we're doing on Facebook and on Instagram and even in YouTube.
And your newsletters.
And our e-newsletters. And, you know, it's just one more platform. You can't do those types of things only halfway. If you only do social media halfway, it looks halfway. It looks Bush League. And so, you know, you've really got to be robust. So we have Morgan working on that. And working with her, of course, is Christine. But even more than that, I have to do a better job. So, you know, the Chamber has platforms on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're also obviously on Instagram and Facebook. I am on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn. And I'm also on the work we do on LinkedIn. And I've got to do a better job in that. So the person who called me out, thanks for the gentle, subtle, kind reminder. But I also find that you can get down the rabbit hole there very quickly. I had a couple of messages within the last 2 to 3 days that I immediately answered after lunch today. And what was fascinating about it is people have followed your cue, which is they're spending a lot more time. I think it's the most professional app in terms of social media platforms. Yeah.
Yes. For us, we promote our stories and our videos. You know,
so you're reposting there.
That's correct. That's just another.
So Morgan, maybe we can do a little experiment with that. Work with Christine over the next, month of May, and do it around the summit, and use LinkedIn as the conduit for that.
All right. So April closes out on Friday. Huh?
It's hard to believe, and I'm kind of just like, wow, where did the month go? Even though there were 4 full weeks of April, 22 business days in April. And I'm looking forward to May.
Are there any in-person things this week?
This week, yes. On Friday is our Cafe con Chamber, and we'll be able to host at our new office.
Wow!
In the range of about 40, 44 people. We did some spacing.
My suggestion: if you haven't been members, if you haven't been to the office, it's beautiful.
Come by and see us.
I'm sorry to be keeping you awake.
No, I'm so embarrassed. But somebody had me up this morning at 5:45.
Do I need to put you to bed tonight?
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
good night.
The moment you've all been waiting for. No, but maybe Tommy can grab me some of that Windex, and I can just take a squirt of that. Yeah, I think what's really cool is we're using the social media in a way that we couldn't have predicted. And it isn't just COVID related, but it's really become the conduit as people are starved for content, as people are hungry for ways to engage and interact. The upside for me is that, I love sharing stories of our members that ends up with Christine and Morgan's help, ends up on our social media pages, specifically Instagram. What was happening at Facebook is that some people were using it as a platform to really pontificate things that really were outside the purview of the chamber and even in business. And so, Instagram's a little kinder and gentler.
One thing I would ask your chamber members to do, if you like a story of your fellow chamber members, like it, share it, get the word out because it's important to get.
Like it, share it, follow it, engage with it. We look at those metrics every week. You wouldn't think that, given the frenetic pace that the chamber is at, but we look every single week at those types of conversations. And we want to know what people are talking about, what they're buzzing about, what's trending. Where is the chamber in that equation? And how can we play a vital role as either, evangelist or, sharing information? The ones that I probably share the most in terms of who posts regularly, Sushi Maki.
Why?
They've got a great team in their social media, and they're posting multiple times a day, and we share that. So if you go to our Instagram right now and you look at our stories, and by the way, our stories, as you may not know, over 98% watch it all the way through. They watch the 3 to 4.
That's huge.
To 5 panels. Nobody's leaving us behind. So let me open up Instagram. So my Instagram is at Mr. Coral Gables, Mister. And then for the chamber, it's at Gables Chamber. So there's a lot of interplay between those two Instagram accounts, which I love because I feel like I'm as much of a curator of content as what Morgan and Christine are doing. They're just a lot better in terms of sharing it at the appropriate time. But there's a lot of things that I'll see and I'll think to myself, that's a great message or an article. I think today we posted earlier an op-ed that we wrote to the letters to the editor about, some of the negative campaigning in the election and holding your, folks accountable, and then moving it to the next level, which is, doing whatever you can to share that and bring in everybody. We want people to know what's going on, not only in the chamber, but in Coral Gables and in South Florida. And we probably do that more than most chambers in terms of our local community.
The chamber is the community.
I like to think they're synonymous. You can't do one thing without bringing in all of these other partners and entities. So that's it, Mr. Coral Gables. The Mr. is spelled out.
I know, she put it right there.
Yes.
Mr.
This is the
Coral
op-ed.
Gables.
So the op-ed, I think, is important, especially if you are a person who's voting in the city. Maybe you haven't voted yet and you're torn between some candidates. I think it's important to have a discussion or have an internal discussion about who you want sitting on that dais. Nobody is probably devoid of understanding that, negative campaigning has a place here, unfortunately. But
isn't that Miami, Florida?
I think it's all of the Floridas, and I think it's all of the communities.
Speak about politics. I don't know if you stated it today. We're going to get another congressperson.
I did.
Is that in Miami or?
So wherever the House will draw the new district, I am hearing that it'll be in northern Florida. If we had picked up 2, then there would have definitely been one in South Florida. But we picked up 1. Texas picked up 2. New York lost 1. California lost 1.
By how many vote? By how many?
New York, it was 89 people responding to the census. And for sure there's an undercount. I'm sure there's an undercount here. I mean, I haven't seen the numbers drilled down beyond the 331.
Yeah, the numbers all
million.
Skewed because of the virus.
You would think so. And I'm going to call upon our friends in Congress to do an updated count, but don't wait 10 years. Maybe do something using triangulation of data and sampling to look at that number in 4 or 5 years. I know it's not cheap. I know that it costs a lot of money to produce it, to bring in the enumerators who go door to door, but this is essential. It isn't just essential to Florida. It's essential to every single state. And, a number of states, as you would imagine, in the Northeast lost population to the South and the West. So you're looking at Florida sitting in the epicenter of that.
Okay, so we already went over the Small Business Summit, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to go over a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
trying to find a little bit about that subject in terms of what was I looking at?
My phone number.
No, I already have that.
Okay, no, the small business. Are you blushing, Mark?
That.
Are you blushing, Mark?
Am I?
You're just
it's
tired.
Just my purple shirt. I am a little bit tired. I went to bed.
We did?
Oh.
I'm
sure you went to bed somewhere.
What was that? I couldn't hear that.
When I called Grant, he's always coming back from a date. I'm like schlepping at the office or writing a proposal.
I'm working all time, 7/24.
What?
Yes.
Why don't you say 24/7?
I like 7 days, 24 hours.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So you go 7/24.
You go 24/7.
I'd probably say it because that's what everybody else says, but I'm going to change it.
You changed it.
You've made that a thing.
Okay, let's talk about the small business. More detail.
One of the things that I think is incredibly important is working with our small businesses on their recovery. So as you might imagine, a number of things got kicked down the road, whether it was, our National Small Business Week. We had that happen to us last year with our inaugural summit. So we're moving forward, and we're going to have our Small Business Summit on Friday, May the 7th. I'm pleased to tell you that we have about a half a dozen partners. So we've got our friends at the Greater Kendall Business Association. We've got Small Business United, part of United Way. We have Key Biscayne Chamber, South Dade Chamber, South.
Who runs Key Biscayne Chamber?
I called Tatiana.
How's she doing?
Took care of it. She's doing great. So we'll have quite a few organizations promoting the event. So we're hoping to have a great turnout. We've got 8 or 9 speakers confirmed, and they range from, Dr. Antonio Villamil from Washington Economics Group. He is the founder and special advisor there. And you have folks from the Department of Economic Opportunity, 2 great authors who wrote a book that drops this Tuesday called The New Builders. And looking forward to having Seth Levine and Elizabeth McBride.
Seth Levine, is he a teacher? What's he?
I think it's a common name. I don't think it's the same one we're thinking of.
Okay.
They've been great. We've been working with their publishing house and with Books and Books. And listen, the coolest thing out there, as you might imagine, is that people really want to be together. That event will be over Zoom, but also up to 70 people at the Art Cinema in person.
Spread out.
Socially distant, because it holds about 150, so we'll be under 50% in terms of seats. And that runs Friday, May 7th, culminating event for National Small Business Week, and it'll be from 8 to about 12:20.
For the last couple of years, you always had a thing going, American Express, not this year.
We did that back in November, but it was much more scaled down, and it was Small Business Saturday. So, again, we're really hopeful that all of these items that we have done sort of in the interim are just a prelude to coming back to something much more significant, something more normal, something more, visible and comfortable.
Well, let's talk more about Coral Gables Chamber.
I love it.
Okay, since the January, how many new members?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say around 60.
And 2 years ago, 19.
Oh goodness.
2019. How many did you get in 3 months? Same thing.
In a 3-month period, we do 200 a year, 205. So you're looking, it's close.
You average 16 and a half.
Yeah, it's close. We've had a great.
I mean, this is in the middle of all this.
Months. Oh, absolutely.
And you're kicking butt.
We're still in the middle of it. The downside is that we had a huge hole to dig out of, a really big hole to dig out of. But with our team, our board, our volunteers, just Coral Gables in general. Listen, having the new mayor call me today and said, I want you to meet Lisette. She does XYZ and they want to be a part of the chamber. I mean, I love those kinds of calls. I want to take those calls all day long, people.
So you had 2 presidents? What's the title? Chairman. You had 2 chairmen there today, right? You had Ron Sheffield and Patrick.
Ron was there, Patrick was there, past chairs, yeah.
Sarah,
that's 3, yeah. You did better than I did putting that together.
And by the way, just let you know, Drew Kern's son was nominated and
Can I show you something?
Is picked as a positive person in Pinecrest.
That's Andrew or AJ,
as we call him. I don't know him.
Was it meant to be a secret?
No, it's on the front page of Palmetto Bay News.
I know, but up until then, because Drew said that they didn't know.
He didn't know. I told him by mistake.
Can I tell you what he wrote me? So I took a picture of it, and I sent it to him.
Yes.
There it is.
Right.
This morning at 7:43 a.m. And I wrote him, I said, this is awesome, Drew. He goes, Mark, the school nominated him and didn't tell us anything about it. Grant actually gave me a little bit of a heads up. that it was coming out. He wanted to surprise us, which was fun for him and for us, meaning AJ.
But so what happened is he got nominated. Great. And this writer sends
He's at Westminster. Yeah.
The school, the writer sends it to the student to verify the facts. So, and I get a copy of every story that comes through. And I called Drew. I said, by the way, are you excited? He goes, what are you talking about? So I told him, he goes, they didn't tell me anything. I said, Drew, you're always the last to know.
Typical. What a great man. And
he is a
great dad and a great man of faith. It's funny to see AJ because he's towering over Drew now.
Yeah, right. So I saw that.
Super tall.
I asked Drew, who's the
fellow.
dad? He goes, I'm the dad. I said, why is he so? Drew's the show.
Justin is the other young man, and he's so funny. They're great kids.
Well, Drew's family's tall, except for Drew.
Oh, wow.
It looks the same thing in mine.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
It's like my family. I'm the short grunt or grunt.
I thought you were the tallest one.
Yeah. All right. So I'm excited about Friday.
Proud of you, AJ. Proud of you, Drew.
Hey, can we give a round of applause for AJ?
By the way, while you were doing whatever it is you do,
that's for AJ.
We confirmed the name of the musical that was financed by the old president
of the Yankees,
owner of the
Boston
Red Sox was No Nanette. Tommy was not that impressed that I pulled that out of thin air.
Well, unless you do a Marlin thing, like, what Hall of Famer chose not to be in a Marlin uniform?
Have you interviewed Kim Eng
Really
as of yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Andre Dawson was picked to be in the Hall of Fame while he was working for the Marlins.
The Hawk.
But he chose to go as a Cubby, correct?
He went in as a Cubby, huh?
Yeah. He had a great career.
It's tough when you've had, a career that's spanned a couple of, organizations. So that's a great question for like A-Rod. Does he get into the Hall?
Well, if he gets in, does Pete get in?
But what does he go in as? Does he play for the Yankees? Play for the Rangers?
Yankees.
I think he's a Yankee. The thing is, the Yankees have so many Hall of Famers. I'd rather go in on the team that, hey, I'm one of just a few, and you get a little more, TLC and love, right?
All right, so what else we got going on Core Gables? We're about to wrap it up.
So I'm going to just finish on the summit because we really didn't talk about that because you got me waylaid. So that's on Friday, May 7th.
He put it up there.
What's that?
Also a Mariner.
He was a Mariner.
I was going to say that he was a Mariner.
He started right out of.
I was going to say that he was a Mariner, and then I was like, maybe I have that wrong because he was really young. He wasn't
18 or like 20 then.
Did you know who else was a Mariner?
Who?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes. So
he was there for quite some time, right?
Speaking about baseballs and baseball collections, so I pull out my baseball collection.
Yeah.
That I thought was
Tommy, I'm going to cough again. Is there any water over there?
Tommy, can you get us a water?
I apologize. I usually have a water here, and I don't want to sound like I have, some type
They're
of...
frozen?
Oh, there's one all the way in the back.
Yeah, but they're frozen.
They're frozen.
Totally?
All right, so
Thud.
I pull my baseball card collection, and I go, I got these cards. So I take them to a card specialist. He goes, look at the corners. They're damaged. If you want to go get them graded, it's going to take you almost a year now to get cards graded, and it costs you up to $300 to get a card graded.
What?
Yeah, like the Michael
Jordan. What
Jordan.
are they grading it for?
To make sure, like I had a Michael Jordan. I had a Michael Jordan rookie. It looked perfect, but then when they put the loop on there, there's a little scratch on there. So it went from worth a lot to not a lot.
Oh, and the loop is like where you get like a
close
up, like microscopic view. They
Right.
use that in gemology. And don't they use it in newspapers, like when you're looking at photographs?
No, not anymore. Okay, I got to talk.
Now you do
We're
it
good.
on
Now you
digital.
brought up politics.
Oh, I
Football-
did?
Yeah.
I thought I brought up the summit.
The baseball,
Pete Rose.
politics. Yeah. It's this. Who was the great athletes? Who wasn't? What's it?
Well, I'm still going to have a weird cough.
That's all right. You get 2 shots. All right, continue.
No, but
Can you put a light camera on
I'll
him?
just drink that Windex.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
In terms of what? Who should be about Pete Rose? All right, so here's the story about Pete Rose. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. We were massive Reds fans. I was also a Detroit Tigers fan. My dad was a Yankees fan, but our National League team was Cincinnati Reds. We would go down to Cincinnati every summer. We'd go to Kings Island. Amazing. But as a kid, all you know is that Pete Rose was Charlie Hustle, right? Thank you, my friend. All you knew about Pete Rose is that he was dynamic, amazing. He was part of that probably most incredible infield to ever play as a collective. And, as a kid, you don't maybe understand that, adults make bad decisions. And, I think Pete's biggest problem was that he didn't tell the truth from the beginning. I think he was given an opportunity by the commissioner of the time to, I think it was Bart Giamatti, to just allocute that he had bet not only on baseball, but on his own team. He refused. He wasn't a good sort of witness, and it was obvious that he was not, on the up and up. And so, my understanding is it's kind of like when the president leaves office, there's a letter in the desk, and that letter is left from, commissioner to commissioner. So, Bart Giamatti left it for Fay Vincent. Fay Vincent left it for, Bud Selig. Bud Selig left it for Rob Manfred.
Bud Selig, what did he do for a living?
He was a baseball owner.
And how did he make his money?
Before he bought the Brewers?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, my God.
Should I know this?
Yes, he owned car dealerships throughout Wisconsin.
Really?
Yes.
Would that get you to that number today? I mean, now baseball teams are, billion-dollar enterprises.
Well, he bought the I don't know.
The Brewers.
The only commissioner to allow a tie in an All-Star game, 1994.
Oh.
Pittsburgh, PA.
But what had happened in that is they run out of players, right?
Put ties in baseball.
I
Just like
appreciate
kissing
it,
your-
but they
it's
had
like kissing your
literally
cousin.
run out of players.
Wait. That's like kissing your cousin. Okay, speak about kissing your
Why are
cousin.
you so familiar with that?
Is talk about kissing your cousin. A pitcher pitches 7 innings. That doesn't count as a no-hitter.
Right.
Why?
If reliever comes in and cleans it up.
Yeah, it was terrible. Mariners ran a full page. Whoever he plays for, who pitched a no-hitter in 7 innings, Tommy?
Why'd they pull him?
Right. Well, he pitched a lot of pitches. All right, we got to wrap it up. Time's
So it was a pitch
wasting.
count issue.
Yes.
Let me just finish on the summit. So I hope all of you who are listening will join our chamber, our partners at Sir and Associates, the United Way, Small Business United, Greater Kendall, Business Association, Chamber South, South Dade Chamber, Miami-Dade Chamber, our good friends at the Key Biscayne Chamber and Coconut Grove Chamber. Friday, May 7th. Probably the highlights of the program are hearing from our new mayor, Vince Lago, a breakout session with Dr. Tony Villamil, a breakout session with Vice President for Small Business Public Policy, Tom Sullivan, authors of New Builders, Face-to-Face with the True Future of Business, Seth Levine and Elizabeth McBride, breakout session with the Director of Strategic Business Development of the DEO. You'll hear from Francesca Valdez on retail and restaurants. You'll hear from Valeria Grunbaum, the John Maxwell team, and we'll close with Tamika Bickham from TB Media Group on standing out with stories. That's a great opportunity for a business of any size, whether you're a sole proprietor or you're a good-sized business, but you're running a pretty dynamic department. If you're working outward-facing with small businesses, we're here to be with you. It's the first one we've ever done. We're super excited about it. It's only $25 to attend in person, $15 on Zoom, and limited in-person capacity to 70. And on Zoom, of course, it is unlimited. So check it out. It's a great thing to do on a Friday morning. All of us, including our chamber, should be working on rebuilding, re-energizing, and refocusing our businesses. And as you might imagine, this is a great opportunity to do that. So I hope all of you will participate with us. Register today at CoralGablesChamber.org.
Right, it's Madison Baumgartner, but here's why it was only 7 innings. The new rule is double headers can only be 7 innings. So he did finish the game, and that was
wrong.
Game, but it's got to be 9 to be in there.
Oh, see, I don't agree with that now. I didn't realize it was the doubleheader sitch.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Because were the Marlins playing them that day?
No.
Is Madison the Giants?
Yeah, they were playing Arizona.
It's wrong.
Baumgartner he's a Arizona.
Oh, but he used to be at San Francisco, no?
All right, it's the time to wrap it up, Mark.
Played the Braves.
I'm going to struggle with that.
Why?
I mean, the only thing that I love about, the changes that I see in baseball is, I like the way they handle the walk, the intentional walk. It's just a signal.
Yeah.
I always thought, if you were being intentionally walked, you ought to step over the plate and take a crack at it, like a wiffle ball.
Yeah, and then you step on the plate, you're out.
No, don't step on it. I said step over the plate.
Ah.
Now, the thing is, you have to stay in the box. Now, I don't think the rules say that if you're a righty, you have to be in the certain box. You just have to be as is. So anyway, folks, it's a big day here. Not only is there an election going on in Coral Gables today, still time to vote until 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, but also incredibly important that you continue to engage, not only with our chamber, but all of your local business development and business building organizations. There's no time like the present to invest in you and your business. Our chamber is involved in that every single day, helping you find the pathway, the one way, the opportunity for you to be, the best that you can be. We're here to help you not only survive this time, but to thrive in it. And we do that because we have great partners like Grant Miller, Michael Miller, and community newspapers. How about this morning's program? A return to normalcy. Whether that's the new normal or not, that's up to you to decide. But it couldn't be more, of a blessing than to stand in front of that group, welcome them, look into their sparkling eyes and say, you know what? It's going to be a great day. Thanks for working together, everybody. Thanks for supporting us. Go out there, buy chamber, buy local, support local.
Have a great day.